Welcome back to Happy Breath. I'm Jessie and this is my channel. If this is your first time here, this is where we do all things art, yoga, and meditation, and today we're going to focus on some art. Last week I showed you a lot of my first sketches and paintings, and this week I figured we would continue that and go ahead and look at my second sketchbook ever. The sketchbook came from Target, so the paper's not fancy. I still at this point did not consider myself like a true artist, and so I was just working with what materials I had available to me, which was not a lot. So for the cover page, we have this very unfinished product. I was working with pastels and just trying to learn how they function, how you can manipulate them to do what you want them to do, and this was just sort of a practice round. So this page is soft pastels. It's important to know the difference because they work very differently from each other. So this page is soft pastels, I believe. Actually, yeah, that's soft pastel. And then the next page is oil pastels. So I was working with both, trying to figure out which one I liked better and all the things. This is supposed to be Jennifer Aniston. The first few pages of this sketchbook actually should have probably been in the last video because this was preparation for one of the paintings from that video. Just working on composition and seeing what I wanted it to look like. I don't remember if this exercise came out of a book or if this was one of the exercises from the school in Arkansas that I took classes at. But either way, looks like we were working on maybe some shading, maybe drawing shapes, I'm not sure. This was a blind contour exercise. So you draw without looking down at your paper, you draw something that's in your view. So I was sitting at my desk, so I drew the bookshelf that was sitting next to me. That's a chess set on top with some bookends, and we had a big container full of mail sitting right in front of me that was kind of blocking my view of some of the bookshelf, so that's what all of this is. And this was just a continuation of that same exercise. Blind contour drawing, that's a door in a door frame if you can't tell. This was another exercise where we were trying to draw circles, preferably without using a round object. So we did use a cup on this first one and traced the circle, and then we had to try it without drawing the circle, and then, I don't know, just round circular objects, and then I don't remember exactly how the square played into that, but I guess it was just practicing 3D objects probably. This was just a little box that I had sitting in front of me that I decided to draw. My husband had just ordered a rowing machine, and it was right in front of me, and so I tried to draw it. I was practicing my 3D shapes. This one was an exercise from the free classes from Arkansas, and it was just a tissue box, and I think we had to like look at the tissue box or look at an object that was in front of us, and we had to like kind of visualize it before we even picked up anything to start drawing. And then we got a sketch in like 30 seconds. Like, it was a really quick sketch. It was all about preparing for the sketch, and then that way you were ready to begin the sketch once that time came. There was a reason that we wrote our name. That was part of the exercise, but I don't remember exactly what that was about. This was the same exercise. We looked at our hand and quickly sketched it after preparing. Same sketch, but with more detail, same exercise, but with a little more detail. I was having a glass of wine one night and just decided to draw it. This was an attempt at drawing my paintbrushes in a cup. Again, practicing those 3D shapes. And then as an experiment, I gathered, I think probably all of the glass containers that we had in our house at the time, and I just drew. Like, that was what I did, I think probably all day, was just drew glass containers in our house. Some cute little decorative spoons that I bought that I honestly didn't realize were decorative until after I used them and kind of ruined them a little bit. I still have them though, and I still use them. Still just practicing 3D objects here. on to some trees. I believe this actually came out of a different book. I think this is from my pastel book. Potentially. I had a lot of pencils and didn't know what the difference was between them, and so this was just me practicing using different amounts of pressure just to see what and how dark the pencils could get. Just some information here. These Stettler pencils have become my favorite. They're blue, the Mars Lumograph. Favorite pencils, and affordable. You can get them in a giant pack of this many. This was a game that I was playing with my friends. We each gave a prompt word, or maybe it was an image, and we had to combine all of the prompts or images together to create something, and then, a week later we all shared what we created. This was my second attempt at Robin Williams. If you saw my last sketchbook tour, I had tried to paint him and it was kind of an epic fail, and so I tried again with my pastels, and I think this one came out a lot better. It's still not quite 100%, but it looks a lot better than the other one did. This was just practice with pastels, soft pastels. More practice with soft pastels. More practice with soft pastels. This image, I had planned on coloring in with soft pastels, but I never made it to that stage. I really liked how the sketch turned out, and I was really afraid of messing it up with color, and so I just left it. Here I'm just practicing drawing different kinds of trees. This was an exercise out of a book. Possibly one of them that I showed in the last sketchbook tour, but maybe from that pastel book, I don't remember. This was just practicing drawing flowers. This was a game. One of my friends, we both chose an image, and then we had to create our own combination of the images. And so she sent bananas and I sent a really colorful eyeball, and so I made an eyeball with bananas for eyelids. More practice drawing flowers. more practice with pastels. This was another game. One of the images was ice cream, one was the beach, and one was these hands. I kind of think maybe the beach had a mermaid in it, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but yeah, this was what I created. A mermaid on the beach toying with an ice cream cone. So I got a fountain pen and was interested in learning calligraphy, and so a lot of these pages are going to be just me practicing writing letters as if I'm in kindergarten again. This was just an exercise from a book to draw a chair, and I've practiced this one several times because I just could not get some things figured out. Was an exercise on perspective. So it comes in because if the viewer's here staring at the corner, then this is about eye level and the rest of it kind of disappears. Same thing on this side. Exercise on perspective. I wanted to, I guess, kind of see what it would look like if you changed the perspective to be higher or lower. I really wanted to draw a perspective scene with like people, like the Beatles almost, like walking across the little walkway, but I could not figure out how to get the buildings to look right. More letters. This was a prompt, like a 30-day prompt thing that I was planning on doing. If I remember right, I'm pretty sure I did day 1 and then stopped because I had other stuff going on. But the prompt for this day was kite. So this is where Sketchbook Revival started. I do Sketchbook Revival every year. I've been doing it every year for probably the last 3 years or so. And it's a free sketchbook experience online where Karen Aubend, who is super awesome, gets a bunch of artists together, and these artists all share one sketching exercise to try in your sketchbook, And like I said, it's completely free. It's awesome. And Karen Abend is just an amazing person for putting it all together. I will definitely share this every year as long as I'm still doing this. I think I've talked about this in other videos, but just super fun. And now you get to see what I was talking about. So this was day 1. I've got notes here from that day. They also give you little free things. Sometimes it's a month free to their subscriptions. Sometimes it's more like ideas kind of things. It's a super cool thing. This one in particular, you had to pick 15 of your sketching materials, and you had to switch materials every minute. So this was just my hiking shoe. That's what I had sitting in front of me. And every 60 seconds you would have to switch to a new sketching item and just try to sketch whatever it was that you were sketching very quickly. This was the same. I really liked that exercise, and so I did it again, but with a guitar this time. This was Carla Sondheim's exercise called one-liner drawings. You make an image without pulling your pen off of the paper, basically. So these were cats. And this is more of the same exercise. A flower in a vase, an elephant, another elephant, and a toilet. And then you take whatever image you liked the best and you develop it into something else, something more. So this is what I came up with. So you literally just take the image that you made from the one-liner and you blow it up. I think she actually used like an iPad or something to make it the exact same. I just redrew mine. That was another attempt. And then I liked that exercise so much that I wanted to try to make one with my dog. So this is Emmett. As a one-liner drawing. And then I developed it. He's cute. Okay, so this one is I forget what this is called. A concertina. And you open it up this way, I think. Let's see if I can keep this in frame. So you open it this way, and we just drew vases and we decorated them in different ways. So this one I think we cut out this shape and drew on the back of it. I'm trying to remember how we did this. I think we drew on the back of it, but we just laid ink or pencil or graphite or whatever that is down on it. It was full, and then we put the ink or graphite side down, and then we used a different pencil or scratching tool or something to kind of transfer the graphite or ink onto this paper. So I hope I explained that right. This is a cutout from a magazine. This one was the same concept. It was a transfer of blue ink. I kind of think this one was also a transfer. And that one. A lot of these were transfers. With this one, we cut out the shape and I think we just marked around it. I don't remember. She had all kinds of different ideas. Like all of these vases were done differently and it was a lot of fun. I took a lot of notes from these days. This was just a positive prompt. We wrote positive messages using colors and all the things. This was during COVID. Same thing here, just positive message. This one was one of my favorites. So she had us go out into nature and pick up things that we saw without killing nature. So we couldn't pick any plants that were alive or anything, but picking up sticks or trash or whatever. And then we came back in and dipped those objects in ink and just created stuff. This exercise was on perspective. So I went in and drew my kitchen in sort of a fisheye way. This was just an intuitive mark making exercise. I don't remember specifically what we did. We just intuitively made marks. This was the same thing but with pencil. So the last one was pen. This one is with pencil. Same exact exercise. Then we mixed a bunch of materials and I made this little map. So this exercise came from Karen Aubend, the host of Sketchbook Revival, and she had us draw a plant. This one was just completely mimicking, what we saw in real life. And then the second part of the exercise, we took the ideas that we took the original. What am I trying to say? We took the original drawing and kind of stylized it in some way. And then we had to stylize it even more. So playing with different leaf shapes. This is where it gets really stylized. So just playing, with different shapes and combinations and fun things. This was another attempt at that fisheye perspective. So this is my living room. And then 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective. Then for some reason we have a blank page. And this is when I decided that I was wasting paper and needed to write on both sides or draw on both sides of my sketchbooks. So every year after Sketchbook Revival is done, Karen Aubend, she runs Find Your Flow, which is where you find something that you're interested in and you draw that thing for a month. The point is to draw every single day on a specific topic so that you get better at that topic specifically. So I wanted to do kind of an art journal where I thought about a specific topic each day, like a different topic each day, and really thought through why that thing works the way it does. So this one was on language. Bonus points if you can figure out what this says. How do birds fly? Poor Philip. How do airplanes fly? What do bird wings and airplane wings have in common? This is all things airplane, I believe. We've got turboprops, turbojets. And that's the end of this sketchbook. I didn't draw on the last page. And that's not all of Find Your Flow, but I started that in a new sketchbook, or I finished it in a new sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed this flip through of an old sketchbook, and I hope to see you in the next one. Go find your happy breath. Namaste.